the Soviet Russian Bear. Soviet
Hi,
Russian Bear,
everyone.
welcome back, Yuri. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. And how are you, my friend?
Excellent, excellent. It's good to have you back.
Always a pleasure.
You messaged me, and you said you wanted to talk about some of the other topics that have been brought up. The first one that we're going to talk about is the musical wars. This was brought up, I think, in the comments of one of our older videos.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to brought up. This is why I brought this up, because in the comments under one of our previous videos, some guy asked about the musical warfare. So let's bring it on. Let's show it.
Yeah, we've got some examples of this is a comedy show, by the way, comedy parody,
yeah.
YouTube censors.
Comedy
sorry.
gold, comedy gold.
But this is probably gonna get us a strike of some kind or another when I play these videos. I'm absolutely sure of it. But let's do it anyway for everybody who's watching. The first one that we have today is it's from the Ukrainian side, as you can tell by the colors here, probably. And what is the song? Tell us about it. Do you know anything about the song?
The song is called Bayraktar, and it's about the Turkish drone.
Okay.
It's about how Turkish drone destroys Turkish Bayraktar drone destroys a Russian column, the Russian. And how this drone
Російські танкісти сховались в кущі, щоб лаптям посорбати довбані щі, та трохи у щах перегрівся навар.
This is on YouTube. I can't believe this kind of stuff is allowed to be on YouTube.
They are praising the Bayraktar, how it's destroying Russian vehicles.
The Bayraktar was basically used only in the first month or 2 weeks of the special military operation.
Yeah.
And after that, the Russian armed forces figured out basically a way to I don't know. Without listening to the lyrics, the music is okay. Nothing special. Like a lullaby for babies to go to sleep to.
Yeah. With
that's what it sounds like. Dun, 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 dun. All right. I think we've heard enough of this song.
Yeah.
Let's switch to the other one. Hold on. How do I do this? Second. Here. There we go. Let's put it full screen and let the people enjoy. This is from the pranksters, Vovan and Lexus.
Yeah.
You might know them from talking.
And this guy is a Zelensky impersonator, Maxim Kamikadze.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's
very hilarious.
He has a Telegram channel, and he often puts up very, very funny.
He's signing capitulation of Ukraine.
So music wars. Is today's the beat here is much better.
Yeah,
the beat is much better.
Hard. Yeah.
Раньше был крутой артист, 9-5 квартал прокист. Байден, где мой гонорар? Русский сбил мой Байрактар. Русский сбил мой Байрактар.
The Russians knocked down my Bayraktar, huh?
Yeah.
Русский сбил мой Байрактар.
Everybody who has in the comments told us that they are not on Telegram. Things like this is why you should come onto Telegram. Things like this happen on Telegram a lot more often than they happen elsewhere. The Russians knocked down my Bayraktar.
Yes, and the last when you paused, it was an incident when Zelensky, when he was first elected, you remember he promised peace, and he went to some regiment, maybe Azov, and he told the guys to guys, put down your weapons. I'm here to establish peace. but the guys didn't listen to him, and he said, "What do you think? I'm a loch. A loch means sucker, doormat, you know." But the troops ignored him. Said, "We're not gonna put down our weapons."
Yeah. I think I remember that video where he's talking to somebody on the front line when he's telling them to put down the weapons. But that's a very old video.
Yeah, very old. Yeah.
The thing about all these videos is they have many levels to them.
Javelin. I think the missile is CGI, but still, it's very.
Yeah, it's funny. Let's see what the Ukrainians have to counter with.
Oh yeah. Windmill.
Windmills, huh?
Rural house.
But she wrapped in plastic.
Oh yeah, her lips is definitely.
What's she saying?
She's saying like Vanka Vstanka. There is a toy, a Russian toy. It's called Vanka Vstanka. It's like you push it, but it comes back. You know this toy?
I think so. Like it has little wheels, and like you move the wheels, and then you let go, and it moves. Basically, is that what you're saying? Yeah. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, but and she calls like you know the stereotypical name for Russians is Ivan, like, and she calls Vanka Vstanka like Vanka, get up, what's going on? Get yourself a body bag, like.
Okay.
Don't run because there is nowhere to run. Yeah. This girl is clearly full of silicone, like her lips especially. She's fake.
I don't know about silicone, but maybe she should take a geography lesson and realize that Russia is like, has a lot of places to run. If they need to, the Russians have been known to, move factories to other cities if they need to. So yeah, I don't know what to say about the song. Let's listen to the tune a bit more. It's classic commercial bullshit,
Yeah, it's like a pop song, generic pop.
Generic pop. I couldn't have described it better. Okay, let's go to the next one.
What is
this?
A Russian response with "Be afraid." The band is called. Oh, yeah.
Go on. The band is called
Overton Gate. It's like a rap funk.
I just heard Iskander and Shahid. That's all I need to hear. If I knew, I would have prepared the Shahid gif. It's a very good Shahid the clock gif.
Yeah.
What's he saying other than Shahid and?
Well, he said that Ukrainians better go home before the artillery covers you. And a lot of Ukrainian soldiers ended up like this, and the chorus is "Be afraid, Hohol, of the geranium bloomings. Be afraid of noise of mopeds every morning. Be afraid of calibers and kinjals. Be afraid of musicians playing intact. Be afraid of yeah."
It's good. It sounds good even in English. Like even the translated version, you can almost make it rap.
Yeah.
We've got another one for this music extravaganza for the guests.
Yeah.
Remember, like, share, and subscribe. Comment content like nowhere else. With guests that come on of their own free will. The next one that we have, let me switch scenes. The next one that we have is HIMARS.
It's a Ukrainian song that praises HIMARS.
So it's like about the saint, huh? They made a Saint HIMARS in Ukraine.
Хай Марс!
Із Америки приїхав наш надійний побратим, познайомтеся із ним.
Хай Марс!
В росіян зі сраки дим.
Хай Марс!
Ла-ла-ла-ла-ла.
Хай Марс!
За
I didn't know better, I'd say it sounds
ракету
Germanic.
на паскудних ворогів випускає весь наш гнів.
Хай Марс!
Робить все без зайвих слів.
Хай Марс!
Ла-ла-ла-ла.
Хай Марс!
Московити зі снарядами гребуться на складах, коли
I gotta say, the Hi Mars, the way they're saying it,
Yeah.
sounds a lot like Heil somebody else. That other guy, that German guy,
Austrian
the failed,
painter.
failed painter. That's the one. That's the one. Mistaken for a German, actually Austrian. Yeah, it sounds like they're saying hi, not Mars. But
робить
interesting.
свій бабах.
Yeah.
Хай Марс!
I can imagine them listening to it while they drive it.
Yeah.
It sounds like a good beat for driving, but I'm not sure about the lyrics. Do you know what he's saying? Can you understand?
He says that like HIMARS is going to destroy all the Muscovites and he blew up their ammunition depot and HIMARS.
It'll blow up ammunition depots. Well,
Yeah.
they use it a lot more to blow up civilians in Donbass and to
So
aim
let's
at
hear
like.
the Russian response.
Oh,
This-
what's the Russian response?
This song is called Geranium is Blooming by the same band Overton Gates. Actually a good band. I haven't seen the guys who are in it, but they only post songs on the internet, and sometimes YouTube deletes these songs, but man, those songs are very good. I mean, like, and this song which is praise Geranium 2 drone, it's like a little bit in the 80s style, which I like, by the way.
All right, let's hear it.
Let's play it. Yeah.
Oh, it looks like a play button.
Цветет герань,
Oh, it's like disco.
этот запах разбудит самую рань. Герань,
Like
улетают лепесточки
Russian doomer music.
на твой Майдан. По Днепру цветет герань, только не другая герань. Когда мы были молоды, мир сиял, куда ни глянь. Сейчас темно и холодно.
Yeah, like disco.
What's he saying?
How like the flower of geranium is like used to be good, but because of geranium it's now dark.
Interesting.
And the chorus is geranium is blooming. This smell will wake you up in the early morning.
And geranium is a flower, huh?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know
Yeah.
what flower it is in English, so I can't help. But yeah, so I think we've covered the music aspect. We
Yeah.
didn't want to, or at least I didn't want to bring up some of the other songs that I've run into, because there's a song that it's also on YouTube, or at least it was last week, of a Ukrainian, or 2 weeks ago maybe, a Ukrainian school teacher singing to children, "We will put the Muscovites on knives."
Oh, I know that song. I know. Yeah. Like
I didn't
cut the
wanna-
Muscovites and like we spit on your ruins. Yeah, that song.
Yeah. I didn't want to play it because it's a
No,
little too
no.
extreme, and
It's a
the
little
fact
bit.
that she's singing it to like a classroom
Children
of like children and their parents
parent?
on a
Yeah.
on a parent teacher day apparently, and the parents are all
Yeah.
clapping along.
Yeah, they are applauding
Muscovites
it,
on
yeah.
knives. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
ridiculously evil. Let's put it that way. So yeah, I don't know what to say. That's something that I didn't want to bring up, but like I think it's worth at least
Well,
mentioning it
don't
so
play
people
it,
know.
please. No.
Yeah,
It's
no.
too-
I don't have it. I don't have it loaded, so like I wasn't gonna play it. But yeah, so like the musical wars, they're a real thing.
Yeah.
What do you think about the musical wars after the selection of music we played?
Well, musical war apparently exists, and it does going on. Like, and these are just like it. This is just very few songs. There are more and more songs on both sides.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just brought up like the most popular that I found.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there is a musical war, and
There is, yeah.
it's interesting to see both sides
Yes, yes.
interpretations of what should be
Yeah.
portrayed. The next topic that you wanted to talk about is Pan-Slavism.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I wanted to talk about that. Yeah.
I actually don't have any video for Pan-Slavism, so I could find one in the background while you talk a little bit to the subject. Why don't you tell people what the idea of Pan-Slavism is? Because, like, you know, many of our viewers are from all kinds of places around the world. They may not understand the idea. So why don't you tell them while I look for maybe a video to show, like, some maps or something in the background?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So the idea of Pan-Slavism is basically the idea that all Slavic nations, all Slavic peoples should live in one single Pan-Slavic superstate. Like all Slavic nations should not have their own states. They should be like in one single superstate, Slavia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what does whoa, let me mute loud. Let's see what this there we go. Here we have Slavic
Croatia.
countries, I guess. Yeah.
Czechia.
So your take
Russia.
on it, your take on it is that Pan-Slavism is not a real thing and can't be a real thing. Yeah, that's what you were saying.
Yes.
Kosovo
My
is
take is
Serbia.
that
I just have to say that Kosovo is Serbia here.
yes,
on the map.
absolutely. Kosovo is Serbia. Yeah. So my take is that Pan-Slavism is in modern day is unrealistic. This ideology was maybe good for 19th century, but I think it would not. My personal opinion, it will not work in the 21st century.
And why do you think that?
Oh yeah. Well, on my channel, like about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I made a video of why I rejected Pan-Slavism. Well, I used to be for Pan-Slavism, but I rejected it when I know in 2021. After more and more news of Soviet World War II monuments being dismantled. This was like the last straw for me. So I decided, no, so much hate towards Russia, and we will cover it next. So much Russophobia in those. I have to say that I have to quit Pan-Slavism. It's not realistic. I also said that Pan-Slavism may be good as a meme, like chiki-briki, like suka blять, squatting, and yeah, it's a meme
Slav type of thing. Yeah.
But as a real political ideology, I think Pan-Slavism is dead, and let me explain why. First reason is Slavic nations, although they are similar, they have similarities, but they also have their differences. Languages, although similar, but still different and sometimes mutually unintelligible at all.
Yeah.
Different Slavic nations chose different culture. Like Poland is Catholic, Croatia is Catholic, and Serbia and Russia, they are Orthodox. And I believe Czechs are mostly, atheist.
I'm not sure about the Czechs. Bulgarians are Orthodox, though.
Bulgarians are Orthodox, yeah. Slovenians are Catholic, I know that. Slovaks are probably Catholic too, yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
Slovaks,
but somebody knows for sure. Maybe somebody will tell us in the comments that we're illiterate and don't know anything about the Slavs. But the point is, I think as a political ideology, exclusively monolithic Slav let's say, nation state or whatever, it would be hard to manage, as you point out.
Yes, yes,
There
yes.
there are many differences.
Many
But
differences. Yeah,
I think
yeah. Go on, go on.
I think the destruction of monuments, or like the demolition of monuments and the defacing, because we've seen that like in other places as well, where they don't destroy them, they just paint
Yeah,
them or
yeah.
whatever, ruin them. That shouldn't like be a deciding factor basically in your view of the idea of a pan-Slavic understanding, at least. It doesn't have
It
to be a
wasn't.
union.
It wasn't a sole deciding factor. Like I've
Mm-hmm.
seen Russophobia from many people, even from Bulgarians. Even some Serbs are Russophobic. Don't you know? You know that? Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. There's some idiots here.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just go on Twitter, and you'll see idiots everywhere. But the idiots are generally loud. They're not generally, well versed in the details. But that brings us neatly, once you're done messaging, because
No.
you always have very
I mean,
interesting messages that come in when
Yeah,
we're
yeah. I'm
recording.
sorry. I'm sorry. I need
No, it's
to.
okay. You take the time to message, and I'll tell everybody to find me on Telegram. I'll play some
Yeah.
music, and then
Oh yeah.
when I play,
I'm done.
when I-
I'm done.
when I play the music, I'll tell everybody that the music is from John Woo,
I'm done.
a friend of mine. You should go check out John Woo. Find him
Okay,
somewhere.
I'm done. I turned
I know.
off the notifications. Yeah. Okay,
I'm just
I
kidding
turned.
with you.
Yeah, I turned off the notifications, and say that like it was the first reason why. Well, second reason is that Pan-Slavic projects failed in the past. Like
Yeah.
Yugoslavia collapsed,
Yeah.
and the USSR collapsed. And like the USSR has after the USSR collapsed, they created like 3 separate Slavic states, like Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus, and Yugoslavia created like Serbia, Bosnia, Croatia, Slovenia, Macedonia, Montenegro. Mhm.
Yeah, but what you have to take in mind is that the like those things failed. Yeah, I agree, but they failed after years and years and years of projects from the West to make them fail. They didn't fail by themselves. You know what I mean? So like maybe if the outside forces on them were not so heavy, they would have had a better chance of success. And while they lasted, they were good. You know what I mean? Both the Soviet Union, like what it did for Russia and all the other countries, and Yugoslavia, like 98% of the roads in the former Yugoslavia, not to mention half of the buildings, wouldn't exist if there was no Yugoslavia. You know what I mean? So in a way, it kind of worked, but it was ruined by the outside. At least that's my take.
Well, I think it is wrong to attribute it solely to the outside influence. There was some corruption and some mistakes within both Yugoslavia and the USSR.
Of course, yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
yes. So, and the third reason why I decided that Pan-Slavism is dead is the Russophobia.
Yeah, which brings us over to our next topic, Russophobia, and
Yes, and,
Russophobia
before we go
specifically
to
in
that-
Europe. Oh, you wanna?
Yeah, specifically.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, and like before we start to talk about the Russophobia, there is also another factor, like Pan-Slavism, like many like little Slavic nations, like say Slovenia, Slovakia, Czechia, Montenegro, Macedonia. I fear that they fear, that they are going to lose their national identity and become assimilated by bigger powers like Russia or Poland or Serbia. Can you count that as a factor, that little nations are afraid of being absorbed and assimilated by bigger nations?
Yes, in a way. Yeah, like definitely, the idea of Pan-Slavism kind of takes out the individuality of all the individual nations and Slavs within, or identities. Let's put it that way, even without nations. But at the same time, like for example, the Serbian national identity lives on inside Bosnia, even though it's not part of Serbia. So in that sense, even like and like unless there was like for example inside Russia, I've heard like for people, let's say in Kyrgyzstan, that they say like when they're in Kyrgyzstan, they say their ethnicity, what they are, which tribe or which ethnic background they come from. When they're outside of Kyrgyzstan and inside Russia, they say that they're Kyrgyz. And when they're outside of Russia, that they say that they're Russian. You know what I mean? So in that sense, I don't think you would lose any identity as long as you have your community. You know what I mean? As long as there's no directed, like there was in the Soviet Union and in Yugoslavia, there was a directed effort to assimilate all the different, basically nationalities. So it depends. It depends on how you approach the whole idea.
Okay, I guess. So, and the Russophobia, yeah.
Yeah, Russophobia.
Well, especially like we're gonna focus on Europe. We're gonna focus in our video specifically on Europe, okay? Like both Eastern, Western, Northern, Southern, all of Europe.
Yeah.
And the UK.
Yeah. Tell me how you feel about the whole Russophobia that surfaced in the recent times in the last year or so, and even before that, because Russophobia is not that new, at least not in the media. It's turned up to 11 now, but it was there even before that. But how do you feel about that? And tell me, like, what do you feel about the difference between the governmental Russophobia and the feelings of the people? Because that's a distinction that needs to be made.
Oh yeah, and first we have to draw the line. Like there are two eras: before February 24th, 2022, and after February 24th, 2022. Like these this is where we draw the line. Like this is So before February 24th, 2022. Russophobia was still strong in places like the Baltics, Poland, the United Kingdom, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland, all the Scandinavian countries. I base this on my personal observations. I talk a lot to people on the internet, YouTube, Twitter, before NAFO banned me off Twitter. And the most Russophobic countries in Europe are the Baltics, Poland, Scandinavian countries, Finland, and the United Kingdom. The least Russophobic, should I say, probably Italy, Greece, Serbia, Bulgaria, all these Slavic Orthodox countries.
And this is you're talking about the political stance of the country, not the people, right? Or the people.
I'm talking about the people. Political stance, like all NATO member countries, they conduct Russophobic policy. Like Bulgaria, I know a lot of people in Bulgaria support Russia, but their government is a NATO stooge. Yeah,
that's
the
true.
government. Yeah. And I know a lot of people in Greece support Russia, but their government is also a NATO stooge. Yes. And people in Italy, well, not as much. Well, people in Italy, many of them support, not all, but maybe not the majority, but many people support Russia in Italy. That's what I heard.
Yeah, and Russia was there during the COVID with the military to help.
Yes.
With the doctors and so on, right at the beginning when nobody wanted to help anybody.
Yes.
So yeah, there's definitely some kind of relationship there that's Not okay with NATO, probably.
Mhm. Mhm.
All
So
right.
yeah, Russophobia and some of this Russophobia is justified, is based on historical grievances.
Hmm. But what do you
Like
feel about the, like, let's say, even if you look at old movies, like in the last 20 or now 30 years,
mhm, mhm.
Russia's always the bad guy, from Red October to everything else. It's always the Russian mafia, it's the Russian bad guys, it's the kidnappers and so on. The nuclear bomb that's stolen is also in Russia. It's an evil Russian scientist, and so on and so forth. How do you feel? How do you feel that has made it easier now to blame everyone?
Yes, and if yes, absolutely. In the majority of Hollywood movies about the Russians are bad guys, and even if Russians are good guys, there are some movies where Russians are good guys. But in those movies where Russians are good guys, they are most likely like stupid, drunk,
Yeah.
in wearing ushanka, and they solve like. They took like, this is how we solve problems in a Russian space
Yeah.
station.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
that
They're not like,
intelligent.
and even like like you said, sometimes they're the good guys, but they're not like the hero good guys. They just happen
Yeah,
to be the good guys by accident. You know what
by
I mean?
accident. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And they're always like stupid good guys and like drunk
yeah,
good guys. Yeah,
stupid.
like you
Yeah,
said. You
not
can't have a
intelligent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't have a good leading role idealized Russian in Hollywood's movies. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or at
yeah,
least I haven't seen any, and I've seen a
yeah.
couple of movies.
Well, yeah.
um.
Also, video games. Of course,
Oh
you know
yeah.
Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I remember the like Modern Warfare. Not modern, not new Modern Warfare. The OG
Hmm.
Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Hmm. Hmm.
And even though there was a Russophobic propaganda, but it was like kind of vague and blurred. Like, yes, Makarov was a bad guy, he was a bad Russian, but at the same time, in Modern Warfare 2, it was like bad American general, and he was
Yeah.
the final boss. Yeah, but if I imagine if Makarov from Call of Duty Modern Warfare original series was real,
Hmm.
even I as a Russian patriot, after the things that he has done, I would have joined with those Americans and Brits to fight against him, because this guy is not a Russian patriot. He's a disgrace to Russia. His
Hmm.
methods are absolutely disgraced. I'd rather join with those Brits and Americans against him, against them.
Yeah.
Like there
I.
was a guy in Modern Warfare 3 named Yuri,
Mhm.
Russian, who joined. He helped Captain Price to kill Makarov.
Oh, I think I remember that. I
Yeah.
actually never played all three of them, like, let's say, consistently. Friends of mine had them, so I'd play some missions and
Mhm,
stuff like that. But I never played all of them all the
mhm.
way through. But I know the general story that, America, liberty, freedom, and that Russia, evil and Putler. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, and let's
and
not forget,
but
for all the viewers who might just be here for the new videos, check out the playlist that we've got with George, and it says it goes into geopolitical detail about how Russia is unprovoked, because everybody knows that Putin is crazy, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But the like the new edition of Modern Warfare, like where it was like a fictional country which is based on Syria, and there was a
Hmm.
Russian like fucking in that game, the Russophobia goes like full. The Russophobia there is insane. Like Russians
Hmm.
are poisoning people with chemical weapons. The Russian soldiers are killing children in that game. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all the Russophobic cliche you can imagine.
And they're put into people's brains from when they're little, as in those
Mhm.
games are played by everybody who's from
Yeah,
15 and up, probably
yeah.
even younger, and they're played for
Mhm.
days and days and for hours and
Mhm.
hours, which means that these ideas and these narratives
Mhm.
kept getting recycled in their
Mhm.
brain, basically. And now when they hear it on the news, they're like, oh yeah, I saw that when I was playing a video game, it must be real.
Yeah, yeah. And Hollywood and the video games, they play a big role. I mean, people watch those movies and they see those games, and most of the people, well, especially Americans, they are ignorant about Russia. The most of them, I mean.
Hmm.
And they watch those movies, and I don't know anything else about Russia. I've seen movies show that the Russians are bad guys, so it must be true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Obviously, the Russians are bad guys. They're like brothers with the Serbs, and the Serbs are bad guys for like many years now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What can I say? All I know is that in the Scandinavian countries, leave a comment if you're from a Scandinavian country if this is true. But from what I've heard, the Scandinavian countries criminalize or like portray Serbians as the main criminals. They're always the kidnappers in all TV series from the Scandinavian countries, and it might have to do with like the immigration from like a long time ago when Yugoslavs immigrated up north. But in any case, that is the parallel that I see is that Slavs are evil. No.
Well, not
And,
all.
well, that's how they present them. That's how they present them. That you guys and us are the worst of the worst. It's basically because we're Orthodox, I think, because we haven't capitulated to, other because like the Poles are good Slavs because they're Catholic Slavs, I guess, and we're bad
And
Slavs because
Czechs.
we're Orthodox.
Yeah, and Czechs are Slovaks, Croats, Slovenians.
One of our other guests, George, often brings up how Putin has tried in the past 10-15 years to bring back the church in Russia, after the Sovietization of Russia and the recession of the church.
I think he has succeeded to some degree. Well, I think Putin has succeeded in that.
And what percentage of people would you say are consider themselves Orthodox in Russia, or like are religious, or like are practicing religious, like go to church and like fast and so on and so forth?
I don't know the exact percentage.
Well, yeah, of course. Like your intuition, let's say, or your take on what you think. In what you've seen around you, like your friends, your family, like co-workers, whatever.
Among if I give you like just my personal perspective, it's about 40 to 45%. Like
40 to 45% who are practicing, like
practicing. They go to church, they fast, they observe all the holidays, they celebrate. 40 to 45%. All others are like more like secular people who they go to church on Easter, but they don't really fast or observe all the
and what
procedures.
Percentage is that? Like another 20%, another 40%,
another 20 to 30%.
So you're saying about 15-20% is maximum, like the atheist, truly still leftover communist crowd. Let's put it that way.
Either they're atheist or they just don't care. I mean,
and do you think that there's a contradiction between communists being Orthodox or being religious? Because many people are surprised, that you can be communist and religious at the same time. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that people can be a communist and at the same time religious, but people who are religious, like true believers, they also can be left wing politically, like for workers' rights, for unions, for against capitalism and all that stuff. Like wasn't MLK, Martin Luther King Jr., wasn't he like some sort of Christian socialist, or I don't know?
I have no idea. I don't know how to categorize MLK. I know who he is and what he did, but politically, I can't speak to his leanings. But I get what you're saying about being both religious and at the same time having the freedom to, like, you know, be left or right leaning politically.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, religious people can be politically like left leaning, and there is no like contradiction. They may reject like the atheist aspect of left wing movement, like Marxism or socialism, but all other they can still be like against capitalism, for workers' rights.
All right. We've been going for about 40 minutes. Yuri, it's been an amazing talk. I know you have to go very soon. Oh, tell me.
Yeah, but I also like to add on the topic of Russophobia that Russian Soviet past has played a huge role in the modern Russophobia. There are still people, especially in the US, who still think that Russia is some sort of communist. Don't you think?
Yeah, that's true. There's the historical narrative that's been presented in the West has definitely played into what people, you know, today would categorize as Russophobia, basically, because, you know, like you said, there's people who still think that gulags exist and that, like, you know.
Oh yeah. I love those people.
I'm sure you've met a lot of them on Omegle. Another link that we can leave here. We'll leave a link to the Omegle talk we did. That was a good talk. People like that. We should maybe do another one with your Omegle exploits.
Yes.
That was fun. SovietRussianBear, also known as Yuri. Anything else you want to say to the audience? Oh, where's that thing?
Don't be a Russophobe.
Don't be a Russophobe. Yeah. I didn't prepare it. I have to prepare it for next time. Keep calm and wait for Russians, as always.
And love Russia.
And love Russia, because Russia loves you.
Yes.
Visit
Russia.
Thank you for stopping by. Visit Russia so Russia doesn't visit you. Yeah, that's also a good one. Thank you, Yuri. I'm going to take it out with some music.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody, like, share, subscribe, and come back again. See you soon. Bye-bye.